What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to the channel. The patch notes for Season 2's mid-season patch has just dropped, so we're going to go over a lot of the main talking points. So let's not waste any time. Up first, a general, obviously character. Beetlejuice is releasing today, but the interesting thing is he is available for Gleamium and character ticket purchase starting today. But if you were one of the players that were saving up fighter currency to get Beetlejuice, you have to wait 3 days. August 23rd is when you can use fighter currency to unlock him. Don't ask me, I don't know why, it's a weird thing. Maybe this is something they're changing for all future characters. Maybe they're just trying to push Gleamium purchases of characters, which kind of seems a little, no, don't do that, please. Netcode Improvements, and there's some good ones in here. I'm very excited about this myself. Performance improved during periods of low client frame rate, which is a good one. Server will better handle periods of packet loss. And then I think the big one down there at the bottom, server input overrides will return the player to a neutral state quicker than before. So this should address issues where lag spikes are causing players to run off the map. I still think this is going to happen. People will still run off the map. This isn't completely gone, but it should not happen nearly as often as it did. And if it does, if you lose control, hopefully you get it like it says here in the patch notes. You'll get back to a neutral state quicker. So, you know, hopefully this is a lot better than it was, but this will still happen. General changes, and this is for all maps, upper blast zones, grace area. They have been extended by 50%. This is a good change. I like this. This should help prevent players from accidentally jumping into a ring out while trying to escape a combo. And I will admit, this has happened to me more than a few times. You know, getting carried by a Finn or whatever, whoever it is, and I'm trying to dodge and jump away, and then I jump into the blast zone. Like, wait a minute. So, good change. The grace area of all upper blast zones have been extended. I do personally hope that the devs are looking at all blast zones on all stages, because I still think a lot of the stages could use a little bit more extending of the blast zones in general and also the grace areas, but this is a good start. The WB Water Tower stage is getting some changes. The center fall-through platform and door hazard has been raised on all variants to address bad interactions with certain projectiles. I specifically love the center fall-through platform being raised. That was just way too low as a platform. It was almost like you just didn't even need it. So the game's still currently in maintenance mode for me when I'm recording this, so haven't had a chance to see how high it's been raised, but it being raised is a good thing. Now I just gotta wait and see how high it got raised. Ranked mode challenges. We went over a lot of this stuff in yesterday's video, so I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time. I'll leave it up on screen. You guys can read whatever you feel like it, but you know, Grandmaster returns. Players can now choose to concede a ranked match in between games in the best of 3, so if you start game 1 and you lose absolutely horribly, you got 3 KOs and you did like 300 damage, and then your random teammate did like 72 damage, no KOs. Well, you could concede because maybe you just don't want to play with that random as a teammate anymore, so kind of a good change, but you know, again, talked about a lot of this stuff in yesterday's video, so let's move to the next one. And this is where we're starting off with character balance changes. So we're going to start with one of the biggest characters that a lot of people are hoping for nerfs, and that would be Samurai Jack. What happened to him? Well, the devs specifically mentioned toning down his side special because it was pretty much a do everything type of an attack, and they did not like that. So what did they change? Well, ground side attack 1, 2, and 3 all had the hitbox size reduced, so it is less likely for Jack to hit enemies behind him. And that last part is only, you know, to hit enemies behind him. That only applies to grounded side attack 2 and 3, but all 3 grounded side attacks had their hitbox reduced, which I absolutely love. Nothing worse than having Samurai Jack face to the right. I'm on the left and somehow I get hit with this attack, and it's like, I wasn't even anywhere near him. What's happening? So this is a good change. I still think you'll still be able to get hit because it's just less likely. So hopefully this is the move's in a much better state, but you know, maybe they need to change the move itself a little bit more, but we'll have to wait and see how this change works. Maybe it's good enough, but he also got his focus meter gain from hitting enemies reduced 30% and focus meter gain from receiving hits reduced. So his passive of his meter building up has been severely nerfed, which is it's a good thing. If you can build up a meter to then unleash a powerful attack, you shouldn't be able to do it 2, 3, 4 times in one stock. This should be more of a special kind of thing. Maybe once per stock type of deal is okay, but at the rate it was a little too powerful, so nerf to his passive focus meter. Now let's move over to Batman, and well, the devs specifically mentioned his diving kick, and I think that's his down air special. So they wanted to make the move less centralizing and more challengeable. So what they did with it, the air down special, the startup window has increased by 6 frames. The leg hurt box size has also increased, so you can interrupt the attack a little bit better. And then the hitbox size of the attack has been reduced as well. So the move definitely got nerfed quite a bit, but it should still be okay. Still got the same move speed, same maneuverability with it. So maybe it still works, but you know, if your opponent knows it's coming, and it will be, they can interrupt this with a little bit more ease. But then his batarangs as well. The batarang will only attempt to home in towards Batman for a maximum of 3 seconds. So it's kind of fun. It did lead to some funny plays if you were able to throw the batarang out and then have it chase you forever. So you chase the opponent and then you put the opponent in path of the batarang. So that's no longer, the batarang's no longer following Batman as long as it used to, but you know, I guess we get less funny plays with that now. Next up is Finn, and well, they mentioned that Finn, his ability to carry opponents across the stage, resulting in very low damage ringouts, was, well, a problem. So they changed a lot with Finn. So what did they change specifically? Well, his grounded neutral attack, his ground side attack 1, his grounded up attack, his ground down attack for starters, and his air ground neutral. All their charge speeds, they all used to be 4 seconds. You could, you know, we all came across the Finn players that just sat there and charged the same attack over and over, right? Well, it used to be 4-second charge. They've all been reduced to 1.5 seconds, so can't just sit there forever, you know, camping, waiting to hit this big attack. So, you know, good changes here, good changes. But then his, like I mentioned, his air neutral special, or sorry, air neutral attack. Air neutral attack, it no longer launches Finn forward on hit. So that led to some more combo potential on that, so they're getting rid of that. But the cooldown on the attack has also been removed, so it like, the move got nerfed, but it also got it's not really a buff, but it's a change. So we'll have to see how that plays out, but you know, a lot of nerfs here for Finn. Oh boy, here comes Rick Sanchez, one of the 2 characters that received the most buffs, nerfs, and changes in the entire thing. The other character being Velma, which we'll get to in a second, but Rick had a lot of the changes had to do with his, well, jab attack, which was which was the primary way Rick players started their combo sequence. So if you take away his jab combos, well then you're taking away his other combo potential. So they nerfed his ground side attack 1 and 2, but they're buffing the ground side attack 3, the one where he shoots out the little rocket. The rocket spawn time has advanced by 2 frames. The speed has been increased up to 3,000. Damage has been increased. Knockback has been increased, and then knockback scaling on the attack has also been increased. And then, of course, the one at the bottom, his grounded up attack, his whip attack. The first hit will now more consistently combo into the second hit. I almost kind of stopped using that move because I just had too many instances where the opponent was just falling out of the whip attack. So, you know, I kind of stopped using it unless it was on like a bigger opponent, but that's just me. But other changes, air up attack, charge damage multiplier has been increased from 1.2 up to 1.75, and more upwards momentum is maintained on startup, which is kind of cool. Is a lot of buffs here. Air down attack has been buffed. Grounded neutral special with the Meeseeks have been buffed. So a lot of buffs for Ricks, although there's some, you know, nerfs and changes sprinkled in there. The one down at the bottom, I kind of like it. The air grounded down special, his polymorph debuff. The debuff now shows a timer icon for the remaining duration, so you're not just sitting there wondering, when am I changing back? So, you know, Rick got a lot, but we'll see if this opens up more combo potentials for him. Now for Velma. Oh boy, okay. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't ever play Velma, so I don't know what's good for her, I don't know what's bad, I don't know what's kind of, oh, that was a nothing change. So I'll leave it up on screen. Like I said, you guys can read what you want about Velma. I don't know anything about her. I don't know what's a good change, what's a bad change. So she did get a lot of kind of the same thing in regards to Rick. A lot of change, a lot of buffs. There's some nerfs sprinkled in there, and then a lot of changes. So I'm not sure which ones, like I mentioned, I don't know which ones are good, which ones are bad. Maybe this brings Velma up from, I think she's widely regarded as one of the worst characters in the game, if I'm not mistaken. So she's always towards the bottom of tier list. So hopefully this helps elevate her a little bit. But people that were around during the open beta will remember that she used to be an absolute monster. She was a little too powerful back in the open beta days, or at least a lot of the open beta actually. So hopefully this doesn't bring her to that level, but her gameplay, her style, not her style, but her gameplay does need to be risen up a little bit. So hopefully these changes are adequate, and you know, hopefully Velma players are happy. But again, I know nothing about Velma, so not sure which ones help or which ones are bad or which ones are just meh. Either way, that is it for the video. Link in the description if you want to check out the rest of the patch note changes. But that's all I got. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.